And the Pirates getting set to wrap up a 3-game series. Cardinals have taken the first 2. And the Pirates looking to salvage a game here today. Joel Pinheiro will pitch for Tony La Russa's Cardinals. And the rest of the batting order brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Julio Lugo plays second base today. Brendan Ryan is shortstop. Albert Pujols in his customary third spot. Career at PNC Park, outrageous numbers. 68 runs batted in 70 games. Matt Holliday, Ryan Ludwig, Troy Gloss at third. Yadier Molina back behind the plate. Colby Rasmussen center, and Pinheiro pitching and batting ninth. And Paul Maholm gets to throw the first pitch of the game for the Pirates against Julio Lugo. And we are underway from PNC Park, and Lugo slaps this one into left center field. And that is going to be down. McCutchen gets the ball into second base. And a head-first slide by Lugo on the first pitch of the ball game gains him a double. Defensively for the Pirates in the outfield, you saw Andrew McCutchen in center field retrieve that baseball. On either side of him, Lastings, Millage in left. Brandon Moss is in right field. Neil Walker makes his first start as a Pirate at PNC Park. And Jason Jaramillo behind the plate catching Paul Maholm.
An exciting day for this young man from Pine Richland. Ain't nothing better, excuse the grammar, but ain't nothing better than playing in your hometown in a major league uniform.
Made his debut in Cincinnati on the last road trip as a pinch hitter. Started the next day, and then this is his first start at home. And this ball is bunted foul.
Well, Paul Maholm making his 28th start. Not a great start this afternoon. 7-8, 4.67 ERA. Take a look at the overall numbers, but I was doing some research, Tim. 27 previous starts, 7 starts for Paul with 5 earned runs given up or more. Not good. That's one side of the ledger. The other side, he's made 13 starts where he's given up 2 or less runs. That should be automatic wins. So you can figure that Paul Maholm has won 7 games. Maybe with a little more support, he could be up there 12, 13 wins, which is a whole different look.
And last year he had a number of no decisions, one of the higher numbers in Major League Baseball as far as no decisions were concerned. And again, that's been part of the thing this year. He's had a lot of quality starts, Steve, where he has left a game either close or with the lead, and it just hasn't worked out for him. Brendan Ryan, 286 hitter. Looks like Ryan has taken over the majority of the shortstop duties for the Cardinals. Bunts this one fair, and Maholm will throw to Vasquez covering at second base. And there is one out. Julio Lugo successfully sacrificed down to third.
And here he comes, Mr. Pujols. And last night, one at bat for Albert. Good pitching for a strike. Misses with the breaking ball. And threw the fastball right by him. And still dealing. But then he catches up to the fastball. Everybody in the ballpark knows that he got most of it. With Albert, you can never tell if he gets all of it, but he got a lot of it. And he is just something else. He is simply the best in the game right now. He is, by the way, up here like he was Friday night with a runner at third base, nobody out, and he popped up. Frustrating for Albert.
First pitch called strike.
By the way, when you talk about the best in baseball, right now, in my opinion, the St. Louis Cardinals are better than anybody I've seen this year. They are hot, and they're red hot at the right time of the year.
With the acquisitions of Mark DeRosa, who is out of the lineup today, nursing a sore lower back, and Matt Holliday especially, you look at that order, and it's as good as any in baseball, if not better. This one got away, and that's going to be a cheap run for the Cardinals to start the ball game. Oh, my.
Well, this is how the ball game started Friday night. A leadoff double and then some sloppy stuff. Lugo very alert at third base. Pitch misses. And then Jaramillo throws it over Paul's head. That's, I don't want to say it's unacceptable, but that is ugly. At the major league level, that should not happen.
Pujols hits this one in the air to left center. Andrew McCutchen handles it.
Yeah, so you can say he would have scored anyway, but that's after the point. The point was it was an ugly play.
Well, let's check out Steve's tips to win presented by our friends at Rivers Casino.
Well, Paul Maholm's got to stay downstairs. You got too much right-handed hitting firepower that the Cardinals run out there batter after batter. So stay downstairs, you like your chances. And Pinheiro got the great control. Don't hang around during an at-bat. Get up there ready to swing the bat early or you're going to fall behind in the count.
Matt Holliday takes a ball.
Well, Friday night it was the same kind of situation. Leadoff double, then an error by Domet. So now you got another error by the Pirate catcher. So similar first inning to what we saw Friday night in that very ugly ball game. 14-7 win for the Cardinals.
And those are errors that are not attributed to the infielders. There was one last night that was charged to Andy LaRoche that ended up costing Ross Ohlendorf a decision, perhaps. It was an unearned run, but the way that it goes in terms of the fielding this year, we have seen a drastic improvement. The Pirates have the best fielding percentage in baseball. They have the fewest errors now at 60. And Holliday to the track. That'll do it. Ballpark held him. Andrew McCutchen ends up tracking that one down deep in center. Vasquez in the second spot today, playing second, giving Delwyn Young a day off. Garrett Jones, then Lastings Milledge. He's been hitting very well over his last 11 games. How about that? 25 for 60. Brandon Moss back in right field. Neil Walker gets the start at third base. Ronnie Cedeno. Then it's Jason Jaramillo and Paul Maholm. Joel Pinheiro's first pitch is taken for strike one by Andrew McCutchen.
You will see a lot of strike ones from Pinheiro. The rhyme of the ancient mariner. This former Seattle Mariner has found a home in St. Louis.
Pinheiro, 6'1", 200 from Rio Padres, Puerto Rico. He's 30 years of age. And he gets a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, he's won his last 8 decisions. The Cardinals have found themselves a solid, rock solid, above average number 3 starter. The only reason he's number 3 is because of Carpenter and Wainwright. And the control is just stupid. I mean, he's had 26 starts. He's walked 19 batters. You might have to institute a rule that you get a free pass with 3 balls thrown to you instead of 4.
2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Well, when you look at the wins that this Cardinal staff has, the numbers are off the charts in terms of the National League. They've got the top 3 guys in terms of wins. Wainwright with 17. Carpenter is number 2 with 15. And Joel Pinheiro number 3 with 14. Jason Marquis of Colorado and Josh Johnson of Florida also with 14. And there is a base hit for Andrew McCutchen. So the tying run aboard here in the bottom of the first inning. One thing would be nice, Steve, is to see if the Pirates can get that run back for Paul Maholm.
Absolutely. And this is a good pitch. Andrew goes down and just hits it right back through the middle. The ball is downstairs, and that's where Pinheiro lives, downstairs. and Andrew went out and just got enough to send it through the middle. And again, I'm going to keep track of the running game because the Pirates not much offense at all last night, and you might see John Russell pushing the running game a little bit.
So McCutchen on for the 18th time in the last 19 games. Here is Ramon Vasquez, beg your pardon, with Jones on deck. Vasquez getting Troy Gloss to run in from third base, bluffing the bunt. Grounded out last night when he came in to serve as a pinch hitter. Vasquez has one home run this year, and that came in Miami against the Florida Marlins on the 3rd of July. Vasquez with a 1-ball, no strike count. And McCutchen getting a decent sized lead. Step off, force McCutchen to go back.
Well, Pinheiro helps Yadier Molina. Molina is one of the better catchers, defensive catchers, and I don't know his numbers throwing out base runners. I can't find that, but I would be very surprised if it's not very, very good. I was looking at the Cardinal notes. I'm sure it's somewhere. I didn't find it, but he's got the reputation of being very good. So if Pinheiro helps him, well, it's going to be tough to run. I still think it all depends on what the pitcher does to help his catcher. Most catchers, if they get a chance, they'll throw the guy out.
Popped him up. Brendan Ryan, the shortstop, wants it. And there's one down. Now Garrett Jones will come to the plate. .306. 5 out of 8 in the series, and last night Jones had 3 hits. He was walked twice, once intentionally. In his second base hit came in the 6th inning. It was about a 48-foot roller up the first base line, and it stayed right on the chalk line when it stopped for a base hit.
And he'll probably have to go downstairs to try to lift the ball if he tries to get it to go a long way, because Pinheiro works downstairs. This guy's been around a long time. He started his pro career in 1997, Pinheiro, those early years with the Mariners. He had a 16-win season in 2003 with Seattle, a little time with Boston.
He's tough to hit home runs off of also, Steve. He's got 7 homers given up in 178 innings pitched.
Because he not only throws strikes, he throws strikes downstairs.
1 ball, 1 strike to Garrett Jones. As much success as Pinheiro has been having, he won for the first time in 5 starts against the Pirates on the 9th of August. Took him a while to get a win against the Bucks. He allowed 3 runs on 9 hits in 7 innings. A 7-3 St. Louis win.
Those 3 complete games against Milwaukee, Chicago, and the New York Mets. But that stat of 19 walks. Fewer walks than starts. That's something else. The best in the major leagues. 26 starts, 19 walks. They just can't get away from that stat.
Who was the guy that played in your era that might have been like that?
Threw all strikes. Everybody but me. There are a lot of good ones.
I didn't put that on a tee for you or anything, did I?
Yeah, I'll get back a couple of names because the first thing that comes to mind in that era with the great pitchers, and they weren't necessarily control artists. The one thing that always comes back to me, Tom Seaver. He was overpowering to spots. That's how I always describe him. Overpowering to spots, which obviously is great control.
There goes McCutchen on the 3-2. Pujols makes a great play. Takes a hit away from Garrett Jones.
Yeah,
Pinheiro covering for the out.
That's all about wingspan. He's just a big man. He looks as big over there at first base as Scott Rowland does to me at third base. They're just big guys and they make the field seem smaller. Big reach, and they get an out. That's your basic first and third situation with one out. Now it's a man in second with 2 outs. Changes everything around.
And you're good over there in a hurry.
Yep. Does his job as he should.
Lastings Millage takes inside. And Millage has been getting it done lately. His last 18 games, 5 doubles, 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. He's hitting .328 in 32 games with the Pirates. 2 balls, no strikes to Lastings Millage. Millage hitting in that 4 spot. And last night he produced. He got an RBI double in the 4th inning. And then had a base hit and was stranded in the 6th. So a couple of hits out of the 4-hole last night for the Bucks. And this one's popped up. That will make the seats. Foul ball.
You know, one thing about a great control pitcher like Pinheiro is the fact that, you know, your automatic knee-jerk reaction is that he's out in front in the count all the time. But his control is so good, he can nibble. He's one of those guys that can nibble and have it be effective because he always has the ability to throw a strike if it doesn't work, if he doesn't get people to chase. So he doesn't have to be out in front all the time because he can throw strikes when he wants to. So he can tease you and then come and kind of backdoor you with a bunch of strikes.
2-1 pitch. Now it's 3-1 to Millage. The tying run in scoring position. Andrew McCutchen at second base. Look from the Cardinal dugout. Now Lastings Millage at home plate. Pinheiro's 3-1. And Millage. That's into center field. Around third comes McCutchen, and the ball game's tied at 1. RBI single, Lastings Millage.
Keep it lasting, Millage. You're hot, keep it going. Just a routine ground ball, but they were playing him a little bit over to pull the ball, and he just hits that bouncer up through the middle. Routine ground ball right there. Yeah, nothing spectacular about it, but gets the job done.
And once he gets going, there's no stopping him. He gets from second to home quicker than anybody. Pitch inside to Brandon Moss. And with Millage RBI, that is a 1-1 game now. 1-800-SAFE-AUTO reminds you you're safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. 2 outs in the 1-0 count. Inside 2-0.
You know, when you talk about the control, I always liked the Steve Carlton quote. He said, "I don't throw strikes unless they force me to." So Pinheiro can fit that kind of mold. When they force him to throw strikes, but if they keep swinging at borderline pitches and pitches that might be missing a little bit, because he can throw effective pitches that are just on the corners, just off the corners, well, and they force him to throw strikes, he can.
A base hit for Brandon Moss. Millage will stop at second.
Some good at bats. McCutchen had a good at bat, hitting a pretty good Pinheiro pitch. And now Millage and Moss, little M&M action.
Good stroke by Moss. So 2 on and 2 out for Neil Walker.
Number 19, Neil Walker.
Walker, the hometown boy, first round draft choice 2004, making his first start at home for the Pirates. Still looking for that first big league hit. He's 0 for 6. And this one goes the other way, and that will hook into the seats.
I think what we can do in the interest of time, Tim, is have him hit the ball over the fence. Get on the other side of the first hit, first RBI, first home run, and put the whole package together for Neil.
Neil's high school football team. Pine Richland won on Friday night, beating Montour 20-6. Fouls another one away. He was a star football player there as well as a baseball player. So Neil Walker, 0-2 the count.
You have a tough spot because Pinheiro is so good with the control. He can tease him a little bit, try to get him to chase his pitch. Okay, Neil, we've delivered enough souvenirs to the home folks. He probably got the tickets that he left down in that section. That's 3 foul balls, 3 souvenirs.
Well, he wouldn't mind dumping one fair down in that corner. Matt Holliday guarding the line. See the gap in left center field. Again, the 0-2. And he popped him up. Colby Rasmus will collect the fly ball, and that does it. Pirates strand 2, but they get one back, and after an inning, it's an even score at 1. For the Pirates had this to say about Ross Ohlendorf. 9 pitches, 3 Ks. That's pretty special. And the thing with Ross is he's getting better every time out. He's starting to look like that guy you can really rely on to take the ball every 5th day. That's today's Geico quote.
What was so unique about the 3 strikeouts on 9 pitches is that there was an assist from the catcher on each one of them. I mean, so it wasn't like he just threw the ball 100 miles an hour past everybody 9 times. He had him chasing that low slider, pitches that were in the dirt. He conceivably could have had a couple more if Ryan doesn't block the ball and he keeps striking people out. How about 5 strikeouts in 1 inning?
Amazing.
He was that slider must have been unbelievable. So hard to see. And you go back to the fun thing is to look at this pitch after pitch in the dirt, save. In the dirt, save. In the dirt, save. It's unbelievable. And I go back to 1987 when Jeff Robinson did it against the Cubs. There's a good high fastball from Paul. He was the master. Jeff Robinson had one of the great splitters because he came from the Giants where Roger Craig was teaching that split finger fastball to everybody. And I don't remember the locations, but I got to assume that, well, 2 or 3 of those strikeouts were down in the dirt where a catcher had to make a play. That's what happens with a splitter.
I talked to Ross before the game today about last night, and of course Ross being the Princeton guy and the mathematician on the team, he was asking me, he said, well, it's only been done 40 times by 43 guys. So 40 times, he said, it's much more impressive than the no-hitter, because he said there's been over a number of no-hitters. I said, well, I'm going to leave it to you to figure out the percentages here, Ross, but I said, I don't know if it's ever been done with 3 catchers putouts. And
I doubt that.
He wants to know too.
Well, he wants to know everything. This guy's the most curious guy in the world, and I'll tell you what I liked about him. I thought he got stronger as the ball game went on. He's a big horse, and boy, he might become a horse you can ride on pretty well.
2-2 to Ludwig. This one's backing out of play. The interesting thing about Ohlendorf, though, is he may only have a couple of more starts left in him because he's pitched so many innings this year.
Well, that's all right. This is a great first full season for Ross Ohlendorf. Very impressed with him.
And you talk about how much better he's getting since the All-Star break. His ERA has been 2.7.
Nice looking breaking ball. You know, I don't even dare go down and congratulate Ross or say hello because I'm afraid I won't understand his answers. I mean, this is an educated man.
It's an educated pitch right here.
Uncle Charlie, the hook.
But just to put a capper on Ohlendorf, I in the conversation I said it wasn't just that one inning, Ross. I said 11 strikeouts. He had a slider really working. The ball was staying down. He had a lot of sink going. A lot of things were working for him.
Yeah, and don't let me hear anybody say that Albert and Holliday weren't in the lineup. Molina, DeRosa. These are Major League Baseball players, Major League hitters. He was terrific last night.
2-0 to Troy Gloss.
I still like the comment by Elroy Faso in relation to the split finger fastball because he threw a great forkball, and we used to ask him what the difference was, and he said about $3 million a year.
Oh, that's all.
That's all.
3-0 now to Gloss. Hasn't had a hit yet against the Bucks this weekend. 0 for 4 last night.
He's been left out of the party then.
3-1. This guy has had some good years in baseball. And the count is full at 3-2.
People say that baseball hasn't changed. You ever think you would have seen a batter up in a major league ball game with sunglasses?
Not in your day.
Nope.
And those look like something you take out in the yard and, you know.
I wish I was
have the weed
wearing.
cutter with.
Yeah, I wish I was wearing those when the hedge trimmer attacked my finger.
See the corners of those things? They're like welder's glasses. If he's got X-ray vision, can see through Mulholland's glove. Those little X-ray glasses you used to see in the comic books.
Yep. Think of the possibilities with X-ray glasses.
This one to center field. And McCutcheon uses his sunglasses to look up to his bright Sunday afternoon sky and make the catch. 2 down now for the Cards. Yadier Molina, the catcher. Molina pinch hit last night. We were talking about the bench. You know, you mentioned Holliday and Pujols were not in last night, but how about the bench Tony La Russa had to choose from in last night's game with Pujols, Molina, Holliday, DeRosa, Brendan Ryan.
And then it plays out perfectly for him to have that entire bench available. You know, his pitcher did the job holding the Pirates down, took it into extra innings, and he's sitting there with a wealth of talent available. Starting with number 5.
2 balls, no strikes to Molina. This one's out of play, 2-1.
And we're going to be starting to speculate about postseason play. That's right around the corner. In fact, people are already starting to talk about it. But this Cardinal team, as I said, I think they're as good as anybody right now. And when you've got 3 starters you can depend on, you're talking about short series, best out of 7. 3 starters is a wealth of starting pitching. That pitch just missing. So if they go into postseason play, and I'm sure they will, that's a pretty nice way to start it when you got Carpenter and Wainwright and Pinheiro. They play good defense and they hit the ball well.
And ball 4 to Molina. 2-out walk. The Cardinals were not picked to be where they are right now. They've got top records in all of baseball. Chicago 11.5 back. Houston has done a good job, I think, getting to where they are, tied with Milwaukee in the middle of the pack, considering the start Houston had. But I think, Steve, when we were in St. Louis on opening day and then right back there pretty quickly in May for another series, they seem to be an okay team. They seem to be pretty good, but they have developed and made some additions over the course of the season that have made them a really good team.
Well, you didn't know about Chris Carpenter's health. You weren't sure about Wainwright's health. You didn't know if Pinheiro was going to be just a journeyman guy that might win 8 or 9 games for you. And that's a big part of it. The pitching has come out of the woodwork.
And at that time,
and Franklin's been lights out as a closer.
Well, that's the other thing. At that time, Jason Mott was going to be the closer. And even the night before opening day, while we were in St. Louis watching the news on the Cardinals on television the night before the opener, they were talking about Mott being the closer. That Tony La Russa hadn't named him officially yet, and he came out to close, and Jack Wilson hit the double, and the Pirates would win. And there's a ground ball right at Garrett Jones. And that'll do it for the Cardinals in the top of the second inning. A 1-1 ball game here at PNC Park. Day game matinee. Perfect way to spend the day with your family, and everybody gets a Pirates Stars and Stripes cap modeled by Garrett Jones. For tickets, call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or visit pirates.com. Also, it's alumni autograph day tomorrow. Bob Walk, along with Grant Jackson and Kent Tekulve, will be signing autographs in the Trib Total Media Hall of Fame Club. So big day tomorrow. Those Stars and Stripes caps, courtesy of West Penn Allegheny Health System. They are very similar. I think they're the same ones they wore around Memorial Day. Red, white, blue look to them. They wore the red ones on the 4th of July, and they had another look a little earlier in the year.
Yeah, come on out tomorrow and tell the old-timers, the alumni guys, how young they look.
Yeah, don't appreciate that. Cedeno, the pool hole swung away. Bob Walk has not signed an autograph in a couple days. He's been resting his hand.
Yep, there's one of your young former Buccos, alumni Bob. Just turned 31 the other day.
Yeah, looks like he could step out there right now and do something. I'm not sure what, but he looks like he could step out there. Working with Greg
Brownie
Brown.
will be signing nothing, and he'll like it. That's the way that goes.
Bob working very hard on the computer there. Doing a lot of research, I'm sure. Here's Jason Jaramillo. Offensively, when Jaramillo gets an opportunity, he hits pretty well. .250 hitter this season. 3 homers, 22 runs batted in, but that's been in limited duty especially since Brian Domet returned from surgery. But while Domet was out, Jaramillo handled the bulk of the catching duties. Split it with Robinson Diaz. Diaz was sent back to AAA with Indianapolis. Jaramillo remained here. This will be his first full year in the major leagues. 1-2 toward the middle. Brendan Ryan had him played just right. 2 outs. That's one thing Perry Hill always talks about in terms of range. His quote is, "Range is positioning." And when you saw where Brendan Ryan was positioned, he's able to get to that ball.
Don't need much range if you're playing right in the right spot.
Paul Maholm takes strike 1. Seems like a long way since that May Sunday afternoon where he crushed one into the right field seats at Citi Field in New York for his first home run.
He's in a bad spot right now. Mr. Pinheiro, with his great control, can kind of toy with him if he chooses to do so.
And he strikes him out. Easy inning for Pinheiro, and the Cardinals 2 innings in the books at PNC Park. Pirates 1, Cardinals 1.
Creamy lattes, rich mochas, and frothy cappuccinos. Only at McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Day Automotive, we're going to make your day.
Another great Kids Day here at the ballpark. Pretty cool shades. 1-1 game, top of inning number 3. Paul Maholm pitching to his counterpart today, Joel Pinheiro. It's good use of the new T-shirt. Long sleeve T-shirts given out today. Just fouled back. 0-2 on Pinheiro, who just faced Maholm and struck him out. Now Maholm would like to return the favor.
Pinheiro, back in that good year he had 2003 with the Mariners, he had an 8-game winning streak. And unusual about that team, they had 5 starters, and they used just 5 starters all year. That doesn't happen very often.
He got him. Maholm sits down Mr. Pinheiro for out number 1 of the 3rd. Thanks to Day Automotive. This day in Pirates history, September 6th, 1963, Bob Veal cut up the Cardinals. First major league shutout as the Pirates beat St. Louis 5-0. Thanks to Day Automotive.
Fireballer Bob Veal led the National League in strikeouts one year. I believe it might have been 64 at 250 on the nose. One of those years, middle 60s, he led the league. He had a great game against the Cardinals that day. He also had another interesting game against the Cardinals at Forbes Field. Pitch, appeal, yes, they win it. He was pitching against Lou Brock, and Bob Veal had glasses. He wore them. They were about 1.5 inches thick. And something broke on the strap that held him on, and Lou Brock was at the plate, and Bob just broke them and threw them off to the side. Umpire said, let's go, and Lou Brock says, we're not going anywhere until you get him some new lamps. And that was going to be the way that was. Lou just shut it down.
This one nubbed up the right side, and Maholm gets Lugo 2 away. Now, you said 1964 he had 250 strikeouts,
yep.
right? You remember, I don't know why we have to use these stat services, these research companies. You're right on the nose.
I don't either, because half the time I'm wrong, but I remember him.
You got it right.
Good guy, Bob Veal. Good friend, good pitcher, good Pirate.
So you're probably one of those guys that can't remember birth dates, anniversaries, but you can remember that Bob Veal in 1964 struck out 250 batters.
Tim, I have to go back to the house 3 times going to the car because I forget things.
Brendan Ryan to shortstop. Cedeno has it off of his glove. That'll be an error on Cedeno.
And the untimeliest of errors, because now Albert gets a shot. Rather have him leading off, as we said 8,000 times.
Unusual to see this many errors, and it's really not like there's a plethora of them, but for the Pirates, the way this season has gone defensively, this is a lot. First 3 innings to see 2 errors. So Pujols with a man aboard and 2 outs.
By the way, Bob Veal, part of that group of Pirate pitchers when we had the mixed grill. We had a moose, a veal, and a lamb. Bob Veal, Bob Moose, and my brother-in-law, John Lamb.
Wow.
Mixed grill.
Put that on a kebab, can't you?
Yes, you can. Going to probably be a lot of that sort of thing going on this afternoon and tomorrow during the course of the day. Wish everybody a happy Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, a lot of day baseball here. 3 day games, including today, over the next 4 games. So only 1 night game with the Cubs. That's Tuesday. 12:35 tomorrow. 12:35 on Wednesday. Getaway day game.
There's a lot of talk goes around about walking Albert Pujols all the time, as there was about walking Barry Bonds all the time. I understand the thinking. Ball fouled away. I don't agree with it. I just can't pull the trigger on that thinking, because I think as a major leaguer, you don't think that way. Your job is to get people out. And I know the strategy, and I know how dangerous he is. But you know what? It's the big leagues. See if you're good enough to get him out.
1-2 to Pujols. Ryan's got a good lead.
That being said, you know, if Henry Aaron was up there with a man on second and 2 outs, I'd probably be pretty careful with that.
Probably walk him.
Yeah, might do that. But I mean, this thing about walking him in other types of situations, it makes me sick.
Well, like last night, for instance, nobody on, top of the 10th inning. You're not going to put him on. You're going to try to get him out.
Yeah. And right here also. And Paul's pitching to him. Paul's trying to work him, trying to make good pitches to get him out. If he walks him, it won't be because he worked around him.
Here comes the payoff to Pujols. I was talking to Louis Durante last night, the bullpen coach, who was also from Venezuela, pitched to Pujols in the All-Star Home Run Derby.
He got him out.
I said, that's what I said. I said, you're probably the last guy to get Albert out. Three-two. That's it.
I think Albert was looking for something he could get around on.
Well, he had a pitch like that on Friday night. He had a laser beam that I don't think got higher than 30 feet. Maybe he didn't get higher than 20 feet. And got out of the ballpark in about a second and a half. Might have been the hardest ball hit here at PNC Park this year. 3-2. That's a base hit.
Okay, now that goes along with my theory. You're going to be first and third with Albert getting that base hit. My theory is you can work to Albert. If you keep the ball downstairs, how many 480-foot ground balls do you see?
Not many.
So yeah, you got the base hit there, but you kept him in the ballpark and you pitched to him.
The only way you'll see that is if there's no fence. Albert Pujols is one of those guys, and I don't care which team you root for, no matter where he's playing, he is worth coming to see play. He's one of those players in this game that you want to go see because he might do something. And the last 2 nights he has.
Most times he'll do something.
Holiday swings and misses. I was talking to Cardinals PR representatives here, lifelong, actually, friend of mine, Jim Anderson, grew up together in New Hampshire, and he said, you know, being with the team all the time, you take Albert for granted. He's just Albert, and he's around all the time and very approachable, and all the things that he's doing, he says, you just kind of add up the numbers and move on with your day. But he said he'll look back like all of us will when it's all said and done and wonder about the numbers that he'll ultimately put up.
Well, let's see if Paul Maholm can pick up his shortstop right now by getting it out and leaving these Cardinals on the base paths.
1-1 to Holiday. That was high. Matt Holiday, as a high school player, had the opportunity to go play quarterback in college in his home state of Oklahoma. I don't think the Sooners fans are too happy today after what happened to them last night, losing to BYU by a point in what was supposed to be a home game in Dallas. But again, he's an Oklahoma kid and was an excellent high school quarterback. And if he had taken that path, who knows what would have happened to Matt, but stuck with baseball and things have worked out for him just great. Been to a World Series already, 2007 with Colorado. Through that improbable run with them. And then found out about the business of baseball shortly after he hired Scott Boras as his agent. And then was shipped off by Colorado to Oakland. And now here with his third ball club, St. Louis. Three and two. Holiday's with his third club in 2 seasons. That's, you know, not the way that it used to be in baseball. Of course, the business of the game is the business. It's just very different. Like you were talking about sunglasses earlier. I think the business angle of it has changed quite a bit. Strike 3 called as Mulholland strikes out 2 looking in the inning, and he leaves a pair. Back at PNC Park with Steve Blass, Tim Everett with you. Glad you're along on this Sunday afternoon. Andrew McCutchen, the leadoff man, starts the bottom of the third inning against Joel Pinheiro. McCutchen a base hit and a run scored. Ran into a little bit of a slump recently. So takes a strike, looking to bunt 1-1. And now starting to get out of that, making some good contact. McCutchen last night without a hit, 0 for 4 with a walk. And one thing about McCutchen's game, Steve, I think that Pirates would like to see is that bunting game.
Yep, utilize that speed.
2-1. Big cut on a miss, 2-2. Remember during spring training one morning watching Tony Beasley work with him on bunting for a base hit, and you watch him do it. Of course, he's doing it against one of the coaches, but you'd say, my goodness, this guy has a weapon in his wheels if he can get the bunt down.
Well, the thing too with McCutchen, the bunts don't have to be perfect because his speed can kind of neutralize all that. If he's not perfect down the line, he can still outrun the plate at first base. Now, if he puts the good bunt down, it's no contest. They'll pick it up and hold on to it. But semi-good bunts can turn into base hits for him.
Right to Gloss, handcuffed him, hurries his throw, and he gets McCutchen.
Hey folks, check this out. We're throwing a party and you're invited. Join us in celebrating golf legend Arnold Palmer's 80th birthday on this Tuesday, September 8th, when the Pirates host the Chicago Cubs at 7:05. All fans will receive a commemorative Arnold Palmer bobblehead. Arnie's going to be on hand for a special pregame ceremony. For tickets, visit pirates.com or call 1-800-5-BUCKS. That'll be a fun night.
Be a great night.
With the King.
A legend from the world of sports.
Yep.
7 major titles.
And he's our own from Latrobe. Put Latrobe on the map. Well, there's some beer that used to take place out there, too.
Came in a green bottle. 1-0 pitch.
Arnie's the man.
Vasquez fouled away. Always had that number 33 on the inside of the label.
Yep.
Ever notice that?
I did.
I only noticed it when the liquid passed it. There was less in there. Vasquez 0 for 1. He popped out to Brendan Ryan at shortstop. And he rolls this one to the right side. Lugo is there. 2 down, bottom of the third. Well, FSN and the Pirates are paying tribute to Arnold Palmer as he turns 80. So take a look back at some of his most memorable moments. It all begins with Spotlight, Oakmont Country Club, Tuesday, 5:30. Followed by, in my own words, Arnold Palmer, and continues into the Pirates game on FSN. So Tuesday, big day, Arnold Palmer here on FSN. And you'll see the birthday ceremony prior to the game that somebody in this booth, other than me, will be taking part in.
And that'll be fun. I don't know if Arnold really changed the game of golf, but boy, did he bring it home to everybody. He put it in everybody's living room. He really did.
Did you ever play around with him at all?
No,
Never?
no, I'd have to wear a diaper.
Would you? Well, I'm just glad somebody will be there to assist you on Tuesday nights.
No, I'll tell you, I wish that would be a dream to play around with him. It's just been a treat watching him.
Well, at least you'll have a photo with at least you carrying a golf club. Maybe if you get him to carry one too. Be a nice picture. Steve and the King on Tuesday night. Here's Garrett Jones. What has been a good situation for him. Nobody on base. And this one ripped down the first base line. Pujols will take care of it, and that's going to be the inning. Second 1-2-3 inning for Joel Pinheiro and the Cardinals.
.com. Definitely worth the click. And by Aflac, we've got you under our wing.
That was our producer Pete Toma and our director Jeff Mitchell commuting to work on the jet skis. They come up and down the Allegheny River. Top of the fourth inning. And Paul Mahallam to Ryan Ludwig. Take a strike.
So far, so good for Paul. A little shaky business in the first inning, but just a run for the Cardinals. Pirates match that, and on we go. 1-1 in the fourth.
Well, Ludwig had a game that most players dream about on Friday night, going 5 for 5, 2 home runs, 2 doubles. He was a triple shy of the cycle, so he went out and hit a home run. And he got hit. So Ludwig took one off the finger, it looked like, and he trots down to first base.
Hey, let's see if we can freeze where his stance is right there when we get a chance. If we can back it up, because a lot of these guys, well, check where the elbow is almost over that inside corner. So you miss by what, 2 or 3 inches and get a hit back. Now that's not dramatic. Ryan Ludwig is not up on top of the plate like some of these guys, but there are some batters that literally would hang their elbows over the inside corner of the strike zone.
So Gloss will face Paul Mahallam with Ludwig aboard.
Where's that sinker for the double play? The Pirates, I think, still leading the league in double plays or near it, as are the Cardinals. They're both near the top of the heap in that category.
Well, the Pirates have the lead in that category now with 143. And they'd like 144. No. Not going to get it, though. Take the one at first base. Let's take a look at our Aflac trivia question. The Duck pulls it along. The question is, who holds the Cardinals record for the most games played in a single season?
Boy, how many candidates are there for that with this storied franchise? I mean, you got names like Red Shandies, Lou Brock,
Stan Musial.
Yeah.
Don't forget Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
He might be up there.
Albert's out there most every day.
I'll give you the answer in the bottom of the fourth. Yadier Molina at the plate. That one just got away from Jaramillo, but the runner unable to advance.
Just turns the glove the proper way at the last moment. Didn't get all the pocket. You don't want to go after that low pitch with the glove open to the ground. You want to turn it back so the glove is facing up.
Yadier Molina walked his first time up. What are the odds that one family would have this many catchers in the major leagues?
High odds indeed.
And this one finds its way through into left field. Here comes Ludwig around. Milledge's throw is off the line, and down to second goes Molina. 2-1 Cardinals.
So the hit batter comes around to score. Just a little fister off the hands of the bat of Yadier Molina, and that allowed Jose Oquendo, third base coach, to send Ludwig. Still interesting at home plate, but that ball took such a long time to get out to Milledge. This is right off the hands.
Molina, an RBI, his 47th. Pitch inside to Colby Rasmus, the number 8 hitter.
And you always bring up the question, ill-advised throw all the way to home plate. Well, you got to have a pretty good idea that you got a good chance to get him. It wasn't. It was moderately close, but the other end of that, you give up the 90 feet on the throw as the batter goes to second base.
2 men out. Millage makes the grab.
So Molina comes around first base. You're going to throw it all the way in? Okay. I can't run very fast, but I can chug on into second base. So that's what you're supposed to do as a hitter. Watch that throw. Keep your eyes open. See what's going on. Not good speed, but there too is a guy that Molina can pick his spots and steal a base. He got 8 steals. Doesn't run all that well.
Breaking ball for a strike to Joel Pinheiro. Pinheiro struck out looking in the 3rd. Back up there in the 4th inning. Well, Molina at second base, and Pinheiro awaits the 0-1. Now it's 0-2.
It all becomes a moot point if you get the batter here. Pinheiro, it doesn't matter. It's all right to take a shot at home plate.
Trying to get Pinheiro to chase that one. So 1-2 count, 2 outs, a man at second. Cardinals have taken the lead on an RBI single by Yadier Molina, scoring Ryan Ludwig after Ludwig was hit by a Paul Maholm pitch to start the inning. Two balls and 2 strikes to Pinheiro. Maholm trying to get the Bucks to the plate here. And he does. A swinging strike 3. Pinheiro down on strikes twice. And Maholm has struck. Aflac trivia question answer. Who holds the Cardinals record for the most games played in a single season?
Lou Brock.
Let's see. How about the secret weapon? Jose Oquendo. 163 games in 1989. They had an extra game.
Bobby Bowe out there on a regular basis also for the Bucks.
Every once in a while there'll be that extra game. That one game just before the playoffs, that single game. Seen some memorable ones of those. Go back to 1978, New York and Boston. You go back to 2007 when the Padres and Rockies had one of those. Matt Holliday scored the winning run on a play that is still disputed when he slid past home plate. The Cubs had a win over the Giants in one of those. So every once in a while you get game number 163. Millage takes low, 1-2. Millage down on strikes. That's 8 in a row set down by Pinheiro. 2009 Pirates baseball on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on.
Ten World Championships for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Brandon Moss to the right side. Pujols there. And so is Pinheiro for the out. Quickly 2 away.
And Mr. Pinheiro is in a groove now. Just kind of rolling along. Smooth and steady. That's a nice place for a pitcher to be. When you get in that area, everything's kind of warm and fuzzy. Give me the ball. I'm going to throw it where I want to. We'll get another out. And then give me the ball again. We'll get another out. And just rolling along. Nice to be in that kind of rhythm.
Neil Walker up for the second time, still looking for his first big league base hit. Take strike 1.
From the strike machine.
I'll give you an idea of the efficiency of Pinheiro. He's got 3 9-inning complete games, and in those games he faced fewer than 30 batters in each one of them. So he was dealing with efficiency on those particular nights.
Well, he has figured something out because this guy has been around a while. He's been pitching professionally for a long time, since 1997.
And Walker down on strikes. He'll have to run it out. Molina fires down to Pujols, and Walker is 0 for 2, and the Pirates go in order for the 3rd straight inning. #100th career win as they beat the Padres 7-4 last night. Gavin Floyd, what a game against Boston, striking out 11 Red Sox. Scott Baker has been unbeatable over his last 11 starts for Minnesota. And Jose Guillen of the Royals will miss the remainder of the season with knee and hamstring injuries. Julio Lugo will lead off to start the top half of the 5th inning. 2-1 Cardinals with the lead. Lugo on the first pitch of the ball game hit a double to left center field and bounced back to the pitcher Maholm last time up, so he is 1 for 2. He scored 1 of the 2 Cardinal runs. One ball and 1 strike.
We're talking about Jose Oquendo, the secret weapon, as he was known for the Cardinals, and coaches third base these days. And what a good, he's one of those good guys, happy guy, always fun to say hello to him, catch up a little bit. He's been a good pro, good player, good coach, decent human being. Jose Oquendo.
And Lugo down on strikes. Holland got him to fish for one outside. And there is one out.
Well, similar to last night, we get a Cardinal to chase a bad pitch down and out of the strike zone. That was the location that Ross got a lot of them last night, but it was from a right-hander delivering a slider. This is kind of a little sinker down and away. Same result. Picks up that outside corner again, just turns the ball over a little bit. Starts a little bit inside the outside corner, just slides out that way.
2-1 now to Ryan. Ryan with just a hit in this series. He has come on the scene to do an exceptional job for Tony La Russa's Cardinals in the infield, and this one is sliced out of play down the right side.
Hey Tim, I got a question for you. Anybody know what happened to the summer? Where the summer went? Let's go.
Feels like it's still here today. But
September 6th, we've got a big municipal pool out our way. It opens up Memorial Day, closes Labor Day. Feels like it's been open a half an hour. Just moving along. September 6th.
I don't know what it is, but everybody I've talked to said this season has flown by. It's gone quicker. And I'm not sure.
Everybody's a year older. That's the way it works.
Well, you remember when you were a kid how long it would take between Christmases? It would take like a year.
Well, yeah, in the summer vacation, when you got out of school, it was like a year before you went back.
It's unbelievable. One out and a 2-2 count to the Cardinal shortstop. And this one to the right side, and that is trouble. Ryan is going to hold at second base. Moss did a good job getting that ball out of the right field corner to prevent a triple.
Yeah, he had a long way to go, too, because he was not real close to that right field line. So once this ball gets over the head of Garrett Jones, it's at least two. You see where Moss started. And you get those funny bounces. There's a lot of bounces down that right field corner that don't come back sharply to you as an outfielder. You have to go onto the track at least, dig them out. It's that chain link fence. It's going to just bounce softly.
Pujols, base hit. And around third comes Ryan. Throw is airmailed home, and it's too late. And Pujols down to second base. He drives in another run. Number 118.
And Brandon Ryan did a good job because that was a high throw, so he could really have a chance to look at how Jaramillo was setting up at home plate. There's the base hit by Albert. You know, no, that's no headline. But the good quick break, and Ryan was convinced right away, so he got a good jump. And he sees Jaramillo a little bit out in front of home plate, comes in the back way, in back of the Pirate catcher, and slides around the tag. Albert knows the throw is coming all the way, and no problem for him to get into second base.
Matt Holliday, the hitter, he takes inside. Keep in mind that Pujols, prior to that at bat, owned a .370 overall batting average in 141 games against Pittsburgh. It's the highest by one player against one team since Ted Williams ended his Hall of Fame career against the Baltimore Orioles organization, hitting .374. And Holliday is out. But, I mean, think about that. At PNC Park, he's got a .385 batting average. That is a valuable baseball right there. Albert Pujols.
Who's holding that baseball? That's
the owner of the ball. Possession's 9/10 of the law. It's a TV prop, Steve. It's not a real hand.
Oh, it's a Happy Gilmore hand.
Yeah. I think we saw that alligator down in Florida in spring training, didn't we? Right next to the golf course.
Yep.
One ball and no strikes to Ryan Ludwig.
There's one of those situations. Ryan hits the double. Do you walk Pujols? Well, the Pirates chose not to. Pitch to him. Albert gets the RBI single. Of course, that whole subject will be brought up time and time again.
The pitch painted the corner. 1-1 to Ludwig. Ludwig scored the go-ahead run in the 4th inning after being hit by a Mulholland pitch.
And with Pinheiro throwing the ball the way he's throwing, you don't want to let these Cardinals get too far down the road.
That's up the middle. Pujols is going to get waved home. It is now 4-1, an RBI single with 2 outs for Ryan Ludwig. His 87th run batted in. This is a very potent middle of the lineup for Tony La Russa's Cardinals.
Yeah, and that ball was hit on the ground, but it was stung.
Pujols scoring easily. Ball rolled slowly once it got to the grass, and that made it an impossible play for Andrew McCutchen to make a throw on. Troy Glaus at the plate.
Well, if you get a ball hit to the outfield and it's rolling, not bouncing, this is a very thick carpet. That's what the baseball does. Bouncing along, it moves very well, but once it gets down grass level, it's thick.
Pitch inside to Glaus. Glaus knows what it's like to win it all. In 2002 with the Angels, was the World Series MVP. Had 3 doubles, 3 home runs, and 8 runs batted into that World Series. Hit .385. Started his career with the Angels and stayed with them until 2005 when he played a season with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Then 2 with Toronto and came over to the Cardinals last season. 1-2 pitch. And this one lifted high. And Millage will drift back. Still waiting. He makes the catch. 2 more runs come in on 3 hits. It's continues to hit. 31 runs banded in 84 games, 13 doubles. Janelle Pacheco, 2 out of 5. Last 10 games, I think 440. And Hunter Strickland, who came over in the deal with the Red Sox for Adam LaRoche, has been doing very well for the West Virginia Power, Single A. His name has appeared in our farm report often. Bottom of the fifth, 4-1 St. Louis. Ronnie Cedeno is 0 for 1. And a 1-1 slap to the right side. Julio Lugo will take care of it. One away. Well, Paul Maholm, when he went to the dugout, not real happy. Brendan Ryan and Albert Pujols had consecutive hits. Ryan a double. Pujols drove him in, and then Ryan Ludwig would drive in Pujols.
Maholm not happy today. Probably an overview of his season. Not real happy with that. Came off what looked like it could have been a springboard year last year, and got off to a good start. There's a base hit delivered by Jaramillo, but I think if you talk to Paul, he'd be extremely disappointed in his year, as he was hoping to take off from that 9-win season last year. And again, early it looked like it was going to happen, but it just hasn't. And again, you look, it's been a funny kind of year because he has had 13 starts with 2 runs or less, but there have been enough of the others to make it frustrating for him.
Third baseman Gloss is in on the grass. And now charging as Maholm showed bunt, but Pinheiro goes to first base and Jaramillo steps back. A little bit of a wind today blowing in. Here's the pitch. This one is bunted just foul.
Well, remember back early in the ballgame, Paul Maholm threw a fly ball to somebody that he thought was out of here. But there was enough of a breeze, gentle breeze, that just kind of held it, didn't help it any. Stayed in the ballpark.
Coming straight in from left center. Going across toward first base. 1 out and 1 on. Maholm, nothing in 1 to count. Put this ball down. Takes ball 1. Tomorrow, an hour earlier, the Chicago Cubs come in. 12:35 start. Wednesday, a 12:35 game after a night game on Tuesday. Then the Pirates have an off day Thursday. It's really a travel day, as they will head to Houston and then Los Angeles on their next road trip. First meeting with the Dodgers. Haven't seen the Dodgers this year, the only team in the National League that the Pirates have not played.
Cubbies being hosted in New York by the Mets today. They're in the 7th inning with the Metropolitans leading the Baby Bears 2-1.
One and 1 to Maholm. Tony La Russa always thinking wheels are always turning with that guy. Huh?
Yep.
And this one laid down in fair territory. Molina thought about second base, but will take the out at first, and that'll move Jaramillo down to second base. So coming up for the Cubs series against the Pirates, Ted Lilly will take on Daniel McCutchen. McCutchen will make his PNC Park debut. Ryan Dempster against Zach Duke on Tuesday night. And then Carlos Zambrano against Kevin Hart on Wednesday. Hart will pitch against his former team. Pitch to McCutchen. That is high ball 1. Looks like Charlie Morton will have his spot in the rotation adjusted. It gives McCutchen a chance to stay in the rotation. One of the things John Russell talked about is that they want to give Daniel McCutchen a chance to pitch a lot here over the final month of the season. Had a pretty good outing against Cincinnati in his major league debut.
Gave up the home run in the first inning and then settled in.
Settled right in after that.
Hard to make evaluations for a youngster making his first major league start. You usually give him a little bit of a bogey. 6 innings, three runs. Well, heck, that's a good start in the big leagues right now.
Two and one to Andrew McCutchen. Got a runner in scoring position. Jaramillo at second base. Pinero's pitch just outside for ball 3.
And back to your question, a great control pitcher in my day. One of the names that comes up is a former Cardinal, Bob Gibson. Extremely good control. Good in a lot of ways, Mr. Gibson, Hall of Famer.
If you wanted to throw it in off your hands, he could do it.
Yes, and I think he enjoyed it.
Strike in the inside corner, 3-2. One of the greats, one of the great athletes. And people forget that Bob Gibson not only was the pitcher that he was, and a great one, but he was also a very good basketball player. He played for a time with the Harlem Globetrotters. People forget that. Didn't play very long with them. There's a hot shot. That's a foul ball. Third base umpire Marvin Hudson waved it foul. Looked like it turned him around.
Exactly, yeah. He was turned around. He made the call, and well, Tony Beasley giving him a little bit of look and some conversation. But he was turned. There's the ball, and there's the umpire getting out of the way, but giving it a good look as he turned. Good umpiring technique as he never lost track. Kept the eye down on the baseball on that side of the chalk.
McCutchen wanted it. 3-2. And this time it's lifted to left field where Matt Holliday will wait underneath it. And that does it for the Pirates in the 5th. Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Top of the 6th inning, Mulholland deals to Yadier Molina, fouls the first pitch off. 4-1 Cardinals. On with Steve Blass, Tim Neverett here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Kids Day at the ballpark.
Well, Paul Mulholland hasn't been great. He's not been awful. He's given up 4 runs. The ball game has not gotten out of hand. But with the way Mr. Pinheiro is pitching, it's going to be tough for the Pirates as we head on into the 6th inning with the St. Louis Cardinals holding on to a 3-run lead.
Maholm may not be in for long as John Russell hangs up the phone. Bullpen looks like it's going to start to scramble for the Pirates. Time to go to work for those guys.
Paul, last time out against the Reds in that second game of that day-night doubleheader, 5 innings, 4 earned runs on 9 hits, took the loss in that sweep by the Redlegs.
Full count to Molina. To Cedeno. And there's one down.
And Paul's last win 3 starts ago against Milwaukee, and it was a good one. He pitched into the 8th inning, 7 2/3, giving up just 1 run. And then followed that up against the Phillies, 7 innings, 1 run, but the Pirates were beat 4-1. That's the score today. Previous to the Cincinnati game, a couple good starts back-to-back. Milwaukee and Philadelphia came away with 1 win and a no decision. The challenge this afternoon.
Right past Colby Rasmus for strike 1. Rasmus 0 for 2 today. Rookie center fielder has really burst on the scene for the Cardinals this year. Trying to solidify a spot out in the middle outfield. Strike 2. And strike 3. Didn't take long. And 2 men are out. Let's check out how we got to this point. Today's summary brought to you by A&L Motors. Lastings Village 1 for 2. Albert Pujols 2 for 3 with a run batted in. And Molina with a run batted in as well. 4 runs on 6 hits for St. Louis. 1, 4, and 2 the line for the Pirates. That's our A&L Motors game summary. 5 2/3 for Maholm. He was working on the century mark as far as pitches. And now pumping him in there 0-2. It's got Pinheiro, who has struck out twice. Maholm bearing down in the 6th after a rough 5th inning where he was touched up for 2 runs on 3 hits. And he strikes him out on 3 pitches. So 6 pitches for the last 2 outs of the inning for Paul Maholm.
Well, that throw had a little too much air underneath it, and a good perceptive slide as Ryan knew where the catcher was, went in with the hand, and you can see the separation of glove and shoulder.
Coors Light Freeze Camp brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Nice day cruising up the river on a Sunday afternoon.
All hands on deck now for the Pirates as they need to try to generate some runs. Pinheiro to face Ramon Vasquez, Garrett Jones, and Lastings Millage.
One base runner since the first inning for the Pirates. One.
And there has been a stretch in this ball game where Pinheiro had retired 11 in a row. It was broken up by Jaramillo's base hit in the 5th. And Vasquez, slow tapper to the right side. Pujols finds Pinheiro, one down. That's the Duchess cam right there from the boat.
Yeah, looking in from the river to this beautiful ballpark.
Seas are calm today.
Relatively so.
There goes Pete Toma on his jet ski.
Some people would refer to it as the perfect storm. It's been rocky going. Pirates trying to avoid going down for the 10th straight time.
Garrett Jones takes ball one. Well, New York Times had an article today talking about the Pirates and saying that in spite of losses at this point in time, the future is bright. Garrett Jones hits this one foul. It bounces out of play.
The future is bright, but stand back when you tell a lot of Pirate fans that right now, and being quite honest and quite realistic. We've got to show them that we're getting better. We really do.
You know, it was encouraging, Steve, the other morning, Friday morning. I was with General Manager Neil Huntington and Pirates President Frank Coonley at a season ticket holders breakfast here at the ballpark in the Trib Total Media Hall of Fame Club. And it was kind of a town hall meeting sort of thing, open mic morning, if you will. And many of the season ticket holders who had questions would preface things by saying, we understand what you're doing and we like the direction you're going and we understand. And that, I think, has been encouraging.
And now you've got to start showing the results as soon as possible. And I know it can't happen overnight, but the fans have to see results. And it's as simple as that.
Pirates announcing this week that they are keeping season ticket prices exactly where they are for next year. And they are one of the few teams in baseball that hasn't adjusted the season ticket prices in recent years. Almost everybody else around baseball does. And the Pirates are going to keep them the same. And it's interesting too. You talk to fans and they talk about their kids who are following the Pirates now, and who's the guy they're going to follow? Well, is it going to be Garrett Jones? Is it going to be an Andrew McCutchen? Which player are they going to latch onto? Because a number of these guys will be here for a while.
And then you get the attitude. Balls hit hard. You get the attitude from some of the fans. Well, if we get good players, we won't keep them. Well, you know, the reason you supply the pipeline, so and it's part of the business. All players move around now. No team keeps players forever. But if you have a pipeline, you replace those players that move around. So that's part of what the Pirates are trying to do.
Well, Greg Brown named him G.I. Jones, and that name has stuck apparently, and is sticking to the chest of some kids in the stands today. He likes it. Coming at you. And Millage pops it up. Long run in for Holiday. And now there are two men up. There they are. All right, which one's got the kung fu grip? The G.I. Joe movie this summer, I guess, pretty popular among that age group. Garrett Jones with the nickname G.I. Jones. And to start selling dog tags with the number 46 on it. How about that? 1-0 to Brandon Moss. This one pretty well struck. This one's going deep left center field, and this one is going to bounce into the bullpen for a ground rule double. And Jones will get way back to third base.
That's the way the Pirates are going. You got a sure run, and you got to send the man back to third base. I mean, that's just a little microcosm of what's been happening with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Brandon crushed it to the big part of the field. We should be looking at a 4-2 ball game, but still 4-1. Now you're looking for Neil Walker's first hit, and it certainly would be productive.
That one just sounded good.
Yep, the crack of the bat.
So a good time, as you mentioned, Steve, for Neil Walker's first major league hit. He's got Moss out there at second base, Garrett Jones at third. And the switch hitter batting left-handed takes ball one. 0 for 7 to start his career.
You know, you look at the Cardinal outfield, Colby Rasmus. Neil Walker's got pretty good power. Rasmus comparatively short in center field. A lot of green grass in back of him.
2-0, and Molina wants to have a word. I think I said 0 for 7. I think it's 0 for 8 actually. He's Walker's. He's 0 for 2 today, but Molina, it might be okay to if you're 0 for whatever, to wait and have a meaningful first base hit.
Molina talking to Pinheiro, it's well, what do you want to do? This youngster, he's just come up, he doesn't have a base hit. You want to work around him with the open base, face somebody that's been around, or you want to go after Neil Walker? After the count went to 2-0, might be the subject of that conversation.
Runners off second and third. Walker, 2 balls and no strikes. Walker family watching on. And Neil hits this one foul and out of play down the left side.
That's the Neil Walker neighborhood down there. About 4 or 5 foul balls hit by Neil.
Two and one to Neil Walker. 3-1.
When Pinheiro walks you, it's because he wants to. 26 previous starts, 13 of them with zip, 0, no walks.
So Walker looking for something good on this 3-1 pitch. Didn't get it. Bases are full of bucks for Ronnie Cedeno.
I think that's by design. Even though Neil Walker is a youngster, he's hitting left-handed. You'd rather face the right hand hitting Ronnie Cedeno. That old percentage of righty against righty. You want that instead of right-hand pitcher against left-hand hitter. Could have been part of the conversation between Molina and Pinheiro.
Cedeno 0 for 2 in the game. Tying run is aboard. Walker at first base.
We've said it so many times as that pitch is in for a strike. Even against the real good pitchers, there is usually an opportunity during the course of the ballgame, 1 or 2 times, even when they're dealing, have good records this point in the season, dominant pitchers, where you can make a run at them. And it's what you do with that particular opportunity or the other one. Against the good guys, usually not too many more than 2. Here we are with this one.
Strike called. Garrett Jones down at third base. Brandon Moss at second. And Neil Walker representing the tying run at first base.
And Ronnie Cedeno in a bad spot against a terrific control pitcher.
0-2 pitch. And Cedeno lines it to center. Rasmus coming on. He's not going to get it. Jones scores. Around third is Moss. Here's the throw. Moss got it with his hand. He's in. A 2-run single for Ronnie Cedeno. And it's 4-3.
What a good at bat for Ronnie Cedeno. Down quickly, 0-2 in the count. and hit another pretty good pitcher's pitch just in front of Rasmus in center field. Everybody running with 2 outs, but that pitch out of the way, and he just hits it off the bat, and that's what helped him. If he hits it with a better part of the bat, it's going to carry out to Rasmus. The Pirates back in this thing. Duncan wants to talk to him. Nothing happening in the bullpen.
Good throw by Rasmus.
What hurt him is that the ball bounced twice, so it didn't have that. The real good throws usually either carry on the fly or that one good skipping bounce. Hit a second time, and that might have cost them the opportunity for the out at home plate.
So a big hit for Cedeno, driving in 2. He's now driven in 15 runs since coming over from Seattle. And the former Mariner Pinheiro giving up 2 now in the bottom of the 6th inning. In the tying run and scoring position at second base, and Neil Walker. Jason Jaramillo had a base hit in the 5th. And his base hit broke up a string of 11 in a row retired by Pinheiro.
I'll tell you, this has the trappings of that game on Friday night. When it was a sloppy top of the 1st, Cardinals got out to a good lead. The Pirates came back and took a lead.
And Jaramillo kicks it foul. 0-1 to the catcher Jason Jaramillo. In the bullpen, Joel Hanrahan.
Hard to believe the Pirates are knee deep in that ball game Friday night when they lost by a touchdown, but they were. And it all was around that 6th inning again, 5th and 6th inning.
Comes the 0-1. And Jaramillo drives it into center field, a base hit. Walker's being waved around third. Here he comes, and Neil Walker scores the tying run. An RBI single, Jason Jaramillo. And the Pine Richland Ram makes it 4-4 as he touches home plate for the first time here today.
And nothing cheap about that one. That's a line shot to the opposite field by Jaramillo, and we're going to get a pinch hitter now, but Jaramillo delivers his second hit, and we got a brand new ball game.
That'll bring up Delwyn Young. Base runners and Walker getting waved around here. Well, Delwyn Young coming off the bench to pinch hit. And earlier in the season, before he was the regular second baseman, this is what he did. And he swings and drives with the center, pretty well hit. Rasmus makes the grab on the run. Boy, Delwyn Young almost burned the young center fielder Rasmus. He recovers to make a terrific catch, but the Pirates put 3 on the board and tie the game at 4. Delivering a 2-out, 2-run base hit Friday, September 18th, the Bucks battle the Padres. All fans in attendance will receive a Pirates fleece blanket. Compliments of 7 Springs. It's also a $1 dog night from Sugardale and Saloni's Italian Bread. To get your tickets, 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or visit pirates.com. Good looking blanket. Make your plans to be out here. Brandon Moss also contributing ground rule double. We were talking about that, Steve, when his ground rule double bounced into the bullpen. And Jones, who would have scored easily, had to go back to third base. But Moss with 2 hits in the ball game today, 2 for 3, and a run scored.
I'll tell you, Delwyn Young can't hit a ball much harder than he did, and Rasmus got a good jump and flagged it down much the same way Rick Ankiel made a catch Friday night. Costly catch for the Pirates, big time catch for the Cardinals. So the Pirates would be ahead and Paul Maholm would be eligible for a win. Paul would come away with a no decision, having worked 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, walked a batter and struck out 7. Again, didn't let the ball game get away.
Joel Hanrahan delivers outside to Lugo. Ball and a strike.
And the Pirates, you know, you automatically look back now. You got a tie ball game at that freaky run in the first inning that the Cardinals scored with a little toss back from the catcher over the head of the pitcher with a runner at third base.
It was an error charge to Jaramillo. It was ruled an earned run because of the next batter. Hit the ball out to center field, which would have resulted in a sacrifice fly. And what the scorer does is goes back after the inning, reconstructs the inning, and sees if that run would have scored anyway, which it would have. So it is scored an earned run.
And that's the way you have to do it, although you can never assume that Albert Pujols would have had the same kind of at bat. What happens if he strikes out? You know, that's a possibility too. But you know, there's good probability that he would have found a way to get that run in. Although Friday night with a runner at third base and nobody out, Albert popped up. I mean, he is human. Doesn't seem like it, but he is.
Former Pirate Dennis Reyes in the Cardinal pen.
But that's the way you have to score the thing.
Payoff to Lugo, fouled away right side.
And Joel Hanrahan has been on a pretty good roll. Let's take a look at the leadoff man for the Cardinals. Hanrahan worked a couple of outs, 2/3 of an inning Friday night. He's been pitching well, and when he throws the ball over the plate, he can be effective.
3-2's high.
That doesn't help the situation right there.
A leadoff walk in the 7th.
In a tie ball game. It's just, I mean, he's trying to throw strikes, but boy, you work so hard to get back in this ball game, and then a leadoff walk at the top of the batting order, it just sends a bad vibe.
Brendan Ryan.
Now, will he try to bunt the way he did in the first inning? I'd be surprised if he didn't.
He's also reached in an error today by Ronnie Cedeno and then doubled and scored in the 2-run 5th for the Cardinals.
Pirates trying to find out.
Each team single runs in the first inning. Cardinals with a single run in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. Pirates with 3 in the 6th.
No bunt indication there.
I know we've told this story before, but you were a teammate with Tony La Russa at one point in your career.
Yeah, way back, 1974 in Charleston, West Virginia. Charleston Charlies. Tony was an infielder.
You pace like that in the dugout then?
No, there's a little more responsibility involved right now. Over 2,500 wins as a major league manager. What a career. What a career he has had. It's a Hall of Fame stuff. Comes down to cases. Managerial Hall of Fame candidate. Most likely a lock.
White Sox, the A's, and the Cardinals. He's a numbers guy. He likes the numbers and the formulas and the matchups and those types of things. Comes the 0-2. And he got a high fastball, blew it past it, 95 miles an hour.
It's a nice little weapon to have in your arsenal. 95 miles an hour upstairs. Well, when you talk to Jim Leland about managers, Tony La Russa's name comes up. When you talk to Tony La Russa about managers, Jim Leland's name comes up. You want some high heat? Well, there it is. Old-fashioned backyard hardball.
Pujols lurking. There he is. You know, if you reconfigured that 5 a little bit, it might look like an S, like Superman. I mean, he has been remarkable. We talk about it all the time, but don't want you to take this guy for granted for what he's doing. And it's more fun to watch him do it against other teams, though. Hanrahan trying to stay down. Our barrel league leader stat, home runs in Major League Baseball. Mark Reynolds of Arizona trailing Albert Pujols. Carlos Pena of Tampa Bay, 39. There's Howard and Fielder. Fielder the leader in RBIs, however, as he has Pujols chasing him in that category. 122 to start action today. Pujols has one today, so he's got 118, 4 behind Prince Fielder.
You know, that number 5 must be a pretty good number for right-hand hitters. Mr. DiMaggio wore that number.
And I think you'd have to assume, Steve, that he will be the last Cardinal to wear that number.
Oh, yeah. Unless he holds up a bank or something like that. And Albert doesn't need to hold up a bank. I mean, he's doing okay.
Yeah, he is a bank. He's his own bank. Reach for that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good slider down and away. Far enough down, far enough away. Albert doesn't have too many bad swings. That would be on the list, the short list.
2-2, reached for, tap to Cedeno. He'll have 1 play. Take it there for out number 2.
Another good slider thrown by Joel Hanrahan. Very good slider. The first swing and a miss. The previous pitch was a bad-looking swing, but this is just a good slider in a good spot. And Albert reaching out and not able to do all that much. But you know, the funny thing with Albert, we have seen him do some things with that kind of pitch. Maybe not hitting it over the fence, but you know, flying it out to right center field or right field for a base hit. But that time he tried to turn it back around. And that's what you get many times with that down and away slider. You hit that routine ground ball to short. Now Kerrigan wants to go out and meet with Jaramillo and Hanrahan, and that's not about the signs. Now Jaramillo might have gone out and made sure that they were okay on the signs with a runner at second base, make sure of that. But Joe had some additional information, trust me.
Joel Hanrahan back on top of the hill for the Bucks right now.
Well, the dilemma here, Matt Holliday, yeah, you got an open base at first base, but then you got Ryan Ludwig in the on-deck circle. So, you know, pick your poison.
Here comes the pitch to Holliday. He will take a strike.
Another 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Hanrahan was the closer for Team USA in the 2009 World Baseball Classic. 0-1. Oh, there it was.
That's just solid, flat-out backyard heat. And the thing is, Matt had to be thinking along those lines because he saw 95 miles an hour on the first one, and this one just the old Linda Ronstadt blew by you. Blew it right on by him.
One and two. Fan of music, huh, Steve?
Yep, I'm a big fan of Linda Ronstadt. I think she's great, especially when she made that album with Nelson Riddle of the old songs that I knew.
1-2 pitch. He struck him out.
Love it. That's fun to watch right there. That's a little different than Ross Ollendorf's, but that was high heat.
we go back to last night. A couple of great defensive plays. A snow cone catch on a bullet hit by Steve Pierce. Now Cedeno. He robs Cardinal Khalil Green. Good play. Ronnie Cedeno. That's today's Mercedes-Benz E-Class attention assist of the game. Tanner McCutcheon starts the bottom of the 7th inning of a 4-4 game. He'll face left-hander Dennis Reyes, who replaces Joel Pinheiro.
Former Pirate from 2003, the left-hander. His numbers: 1 appearance so far in this series. Pinheiro departs having given up 4 runs on 8 hits in his 6 innings of work, walked a batter unintentionally, intentionally, and struck out 3. No decision.
96 pitches for Pinheiro. 64 of them found home plate for strikes.
That's a decent ratio for him. Real good for a lot of people.
3-1. And McCutcheon. This one upstairs foul. Big inning for the Pirates, the bottom of the 6th, when they put 3 runs across. Singles by Jones, Cedeno, and Jaramillo. And this one is well hit to center field. Rasmus going back, and he makes a great catch running up against the wall. Colby Rasmus, a defensive star in center field for the Cardinals. He's had 2 of those catches today.
So that answers my question about him playing a little short in center field when Neil Walker was up. This guy can go back, has confidence in his ability to go back. He's not afraid of the warning track. Some guys get a little jumpy when they feel that dirt underneath their spikes as opposed to the grass, but Rasmus does not have that fear, and it's appreciated by his pitcher.
Ramon Vasquez hitting in the number 2 spot today. Vasquez, another former Seattle Mariner in the building. We talked about Cedeno more recently, and Joel Pinheiro, who had been there for a while, and Vasquez began his career there. And this one, did he get a piece of that with his glove? Looked like the ball kind of changed direction. Vasquez is out.
Had a kind of a lot of English on it. Funny kind of a contact coming off the bat.
Too high for him.
Yeah, Dennis doesn't have that jumping ability he used to have.
Coming off that left-handed bat, had that English you were talking about, Steve, on it. Just moved its way over toward the shortstop. Brendan Ryan didn't get hit straight up the middle. So 2 men are out. Here's Jones. Jones 1 for 3.
If you're thinking along the lines like I am of how many home runs Mr. Reyes has given up, just 2, so he's done a good job keeping the ball in the yard. But the minute Garrett Jones steps up there in a tie ball game in the 7th, think along those lines.
Jones swings and misses for strike 1. He faced Dennis Reyes Friday night in game 1 of this series in the 6th inning and struck out. This one looped into shallow left, but Matt Holliday there. 3 up and 3 down for Dennis Reyes.
Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on.
Back inside PNC Park with Steve Blass. I'm Tim Neverett. 4-4, top of the 8th. Good ball game here today on FSN. Glad you're with us. As Joel Hanrahan gets ready to start his second inning of work for the Bucks.
I'll tell you,
Ryan Ludwig.
He was impressive in the 7th inning, and that is a glimpse of why people love the arm of Joel Hanrahan.
Fastball strike to Ludwig. It's been around 94, 95.
That one at 94, comparison to the 95 rocket that he threw to Holiday, not in the same category. Those worked as effectively.
Neil Walker hauls it in. Out number 1.
I love this at bat against Matt Holliday because he just was able to reach back and just get some extra. That one's okay. That one's real good. I'm loving this next one right there. That had some snap on it. That had some snap on it.
Joel Hanrahan with 1 out and Gloss at the plate. Delivers another one right on the corner. So he's zeroed in today on the plate.
Yeah, and you look at that delivery and that arm, and that's, you know, that's why you like this guy. You can't teach that fastball. You can't teach it.
This one to right field. Going back is Moss. And there are 2 down. Well, for the first word on your favorite high school football team, make sure to catch Trip Total Media High School Edition. Our team of experts break down the week's biggest games on the gridiron. Show your team spirit and watch Trip Total Media High School Edition. Thursday night, 6:30, right here on FSN. Molina takes a strike. Got a high school football star from the Pittsburgh area playing third base today. Neil Walker. He knows how good Western Pennsylvania football is. 2-0 to Molina. And the 2-0. That's in there for a strike call. Yadier Molina awaiting the 2-1 from Hanrahan here in the top of the 8th. Just low 3-1. Joel Hanrahan had something unusual happen to him earlier this year when he picked up a win while sitting in a hotel room in Philadelphia after the trade from Washington. Strike is called. Continuation of a game between the Houston Astros and the Washington Nationals. When he left that game, he was the pitcher of record. They didn't finish it until after he was traded. So when the Pirates were in Philadelphia right before the All-Star break, he was fast asleep in his hotel room. Washington ended up winning that game in about 18 minutes of the continuation, and Hanrahan was credited with the win. Two-out walk issued to Molina. Colby Rasmus, who's been covering a ton of real estate in center field, will come to the plate, and Joe Kerrigan will come out to talk with Joel Hanrahan about Rasmus.
Well, Tim, I had an unusual, it wasn't quite that dramatic, but had a ball game over at Three River Stadium where we had that tarp that would come up out of the ground. You know, we had, I was ahead in the 6th or 7th inning and comfortable lead. And we got the tarp out there and couldn't get it back in. It wouldn't work to go back in, so I had to wait a day. The next day, it all got finished up and got the W. What it does is it allows you to have a 2-day celebration instead of one.
Very nice. Jesse Chavez trying to gauge the situation. There's Jason Mott. Mott was converted from a position player into a pitcher. Pretty sure he was a catcher. Rasmus a swing.
96. 96, a little extra for your own self.
Now, it's like at one point during the swing, he just says,
But you see that expression on his face? Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
0-1. This one in the air. Shallow center. Out goes Cedeno. And he will take it for out number 3. So Hanrahan, pretty good through 2 innings. Visit the official online shop of the Pittsburgh Pirates at pirates.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the pirates.com shop. I like that old logo, don't you, Steve?
Yep. Yes, I do. Familiar with that one? Jason Mott is the new pitcher for the Cardinals. His numbers overall, and what you want to... Oh, well, we just got away from there. Can we flash those numbers there? Just want to make... I don't get a chance to be an artist very often.
He opened his box of crayons and he's
getting pretty excited
got
about
one in
this.
his hand right now.
All right, here we go. I think, yep, right here. 10 home runs. Just thought I'd point that out. I thought it was quite nicely circled.
It was very round.
Pretty strategic. I want to get into that in-depth analysis stuff.
Village takes strike 1.
Hope it doesn't become a moot point for Mott.
I noticed you drew that circle counterclockwise.
Darn right. They're not going to trick me.
Village, a chopper to short. Brendan Ryan throws on the run. 1 down. Village is 1 for 4 today. Brendan Ryan. The infield assist. Brandon Moss, 2 hits today.
A couple of good at bats. He's capable of doing it with 1 swing.
And crunch time as we get the latter stages of this ball game. 4-4. Pirates tied it with 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch by Mott. Foul ball into the glove of Yadier Molina. One pitch, swing and a miss. Moss, a big bow hunter. He, Steven Jackson, Daniel McCutcheon also right outside the locker in the clubhouse of Brandon Moss. He's got all these cases that are camouflaged with the compound bows in there. I asked him the other day if he was getting ready to attack a small country. Said no, just a big deer. But they have a target they'll bring out. And I saw the target, the foam target they use, and they need a new one. Arrow's going to go through there pretty soon. They've shot it so much. Lays off that one, 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Mott. And Moss looks at it, 3-2. Neil Walker still looking for that big league knock. Strike 3 call. Moss had a good at bat up until that pitch.
And here's today's play that made you smile, brought to you by our friends at Aspen Dental. Jaramillo, the base hit. Neil Walker coming on around. Come on. And that's his first major league run scored. Aspen Dental, the play that made you smile. Going to be a lot of firsts for Neil Walker. First base hit is on the way.
Made his big league debut on the 1st of September in Cincinnati as a pinch hitter. And today is the first start for him at home in front of friends and family. And he rips it to right field. Somebody get him the baseball.
Told you it was coming. Way to go, young man.
First major league hit for Neil Walker, and they're excited. There's the ball. Let's see if somebody gives him the fake ball.
Oh. All right. Base hit? Yes, sir. It's a long way from Pine Richland High School. Major league base hit.
Neil Walker is the 20th player from the Pittsburgh area to be drafted by the Pirates and make the major leagues. That's not a lot when you think about 123 years of baseball.
Well, I wonder if they're counting the guys before the draft that just grew up in Pittsburgh and just got signed.
Solid stroke to right field. So Cedeno, the 1-ball, no strike count. Walker off of first base.
Would he steal a base here?
They're
they're wondering too. I mean, there's 2 outs. There's not all that much at stake, with not much happening offensively here in the bottom of the 8th.
It's like for Walker to get that 400-pound piano off his back. Getting that first big league hit, he was 0 for 8 up until that point. One and one to Ronnie Cedeno. Cedeno had a big hit in the 6th, producing with a 2-run double. And Cedeno swings at strike 2.
And that is pretty impressive. 96 miles an hour downstairs. It's tough enough for a major league hitter to get a swing downstairs and keep it level, keep the bat somewhat level. But when it's 96 miles an hour, it's just not much time. Makes it even tougher. Just as tough low as it is up around the shoulders to catch up with 96 miles an hour.
This one to right field. Over toward the line is Ludwig, and he'll watch that one sail up into the seats. Cedeno's power has been surprising. He had 5 home runs with the Mariners. He's got 4 here with the Bucks. A career high 9 home runs in a season. He's never done that before. 2006, while the regular shortstop with the Cubs, he had 6.
Got to get him to try to find a gap here. Left center, there's some room. Of course, down in the corners, always available.
Walker gets back. Cedeno staring down at Tony Beasley. He's got the sign. 1-2 the count. 2 outs. A 4-4 ball game in the bottom of the 8th inning. And this one fouled away. Chavez and Capps ready in the bullpen, depending on the situation. Both pitchers have been warming up. Cedeno trying to come through with another big hit. Capps still throwing. And Chavez ready. Mott's 1-2. There goes Walker. Pitch swung on. Pretty well hit. This one to left center field. Rasmus going back on it. And he's got it right in front of the bullpen. Boy, can he cover a lot of ground. Colby Rasmus bails out Jason Mott. We'll go to the 9th. Tied at 4. Walker is out as part of a double switch as Andy LaRoche comes in, bats 9th.
Hello, goodbye.
Jesse Chavez comes in for Walker in the 6th spot. And he is on to pitch the top of the 9th of a 4-4 game.
These numbers, as we tell you, that Joel Hanrahan did a good job. 2 scoreless innings, didn't give up a hit, walked a couple, struck out a couple. Still 4-4 going to the 9th.
For the Cardinals, Skip Schumacher will come up and hit. Steve Pearce talking with Neil Walker, perhaps reminiscing about his first big league hit. It was not that long ago, last season. Gary Varsho trying to get the outfielders in position for Schumacher. The one thing about Schumacher is he has been one of those scrappy players. It's tough to get out for the Pirates.
Those kind of names have those kind of players have names like Skip or Butch or something like that. They just find ways to. They don't overpower you. Just pesky.
One pitch. It's 1-2.
It's Stubby Pete, another kind of name. Just try to find ways to beat you.
I think of the longtime minor leaguer who played second base for Team Canada in the World Baseball Classic last time around in the Olympics. Stubby Clapp. He was a Skip Schumacher type of player. And that is strike 3. So Chavez comes in and strikes out Schumacher.
Pitch down out of the strike zone, appeared to be. Way down. That's the Ross Ollendorf type delivery. Same neighborhood where he worked last night.
Chavez leads all rookie pitchers in appearances in the National League. And Lugo pops up the bunt. LaRoche makes the easy play.
Pretty good wood on it.
And 2 men are out for the Cardinals in the ninth.
On the move and busy bat, got under it, easy pop up.
LaRoche comes in and gets the easy foot out. Here's Rick Ankiel pinch hitting. And Ankiel takes ball one. Ankiel hitting for Brendan Ryan. And when you watch Tony La Russa manage, he doesn't always do it straight where he'll pinch hit for the pitcher all the time. He'll pinch hit late in the game for a position player because he's got enough guys on the bench that he can move these hitters around and defensively in the bottom of the inning.
Yep, not only got them, as every team does, but he's got good ones. So he's expect to see what Schumacher stay in the ball game, play one of the infield positions.
Probably play second, Lugo going to short if we had to speculate. Can't really manage from the booth when you're talking about Tony La Russa because he'll surprise you. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count, 2 down. And Chavez delivers to Ankiel. This one pretty well hit to center. On the run is McCutchen. He looks up and it is gone. With 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning, Rick Ankiel unties the game. It is 5-4 St. Louis.
Well, you talk about Tony La Russa punching the right buttons. Albert Pujols last night in the 10th. Rick Ankiel here in the 9th. Just getting ready to say Rick Ankiel's had a disappointing year, but he remains dangerous with the power that he has.
It's his second pinch hit home run this season. Speaking of pinch hit home runs, guy at the plate right now had one last night that won the ball game. In fact, Pujols' home run on Friday night provided the game-winning run. Something's up with Albert Pujols right now. Maybe something in his eye.
Contact situation.
Yeah, looks like that's what it is.
Ankiel hits the home run. He had one other previous at bat off the bench. Had a single. This time it leaves the yard.
Nothing wrong with Ankiel's vision on this one. Oh, first row.
And he had to earn it too because that breeze is still a factor. Hit it through the breeze.
Well, Pujols has the saline in. I think if you're a pitcher, now's the time you want to pitch to Albert. He's having some vision problems. He doesn't miss much.
The 2-out bomb. And you will see, I'm sure, Mr. Franklin getting loose.
Ryan Franklin with 37 saves. Saved the ball game last night.
You know it's Ryan Franklin when you take a look at that growth on his chin.
This one toward the middle. Cedeno can't get to it. Another hit for Pujols. He has 3 this afternoon. All singles. Pujols just keeps on hitting, and here is Matt Holliday, who is 0 for 4. He has struck out twice. A 5-4 game, a solo home run by Rick Ankiel with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning has unlocked this deadlock. And the Pirates will have the bottom of the order due up. Jaramillo, the 8-hitter. LaRoche, who entered as part of that double switch, he'll hit second, batting in the 9th spot. Then Andrew McCutchen will come up third. Chavez needs to get Holliday right here. There's a strike. 0-2. Ryan Franklin
That's
leading.
how good he has been.
Leading the league. No balls, 2 strikes. One is high. 1-2. I mentioned earlier I was talking to Louis Durante, the Pirates bullpen coach. He's friends with Albert Pujols, pitched to him with the All-Star Home Run Derby. He said Albert's thinking of having surgery. He says, well, on his elbow. He said, why after the end of the season? He said, won't that affect your swing if you miss? He says, I don't miss. There's Cedeno on the run, doesn't get Holiday. Infield single. Play just very slow to develop.
Ronnie had a long way to come across second base. I don't know if he double clutched a little bit of this, had trouble getting out of the glove. There it is. Yeah, he did. Yep. Watch right there. Just had to re-grip and it cost him the out at first base.
It's the first hit of Matt Holliday's afternoon. Easy to smile when your team's in front.
And they're way out in front. They got a chance to add to their lead in the Central as the Cubbies went down to the Mets in New York 4-2. That's the final. Cubbies shortly will be on their way to Pittsburgh.
Cubs started the day 11.5 back. They'll go to 12.5 back if the Cardinals hang on here. Cubs now have become Pirate fans for the rest of the afternoon.
Indeed.
So they want the Bucs to keep that gap at 11.5 by getting some runs in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, the Cubs in trouble in the Central and also in trouble in the wild card. Either one, because, well, it's going to be very, very difficult because they've got lots of teams in front of them in the wild card. So that's a tough row to hoe. And they're getting buried in the Central Division by the Cardinals.
0-2. This one fouled away. Hey, talk about Colorado, a game up. Start the day in the wild card. San Francisco just a game back. Florida 4 games out, so the Marlins not out of it. Braves and Chicago both still in that race for the wild card, but only one's going to get it. I like the wild card. I think it gives more teams an opportunity, creates more interest down the stretch.
And there have been some wild card World Series winners.
0-2. Hit foul.
Cardinals wild card winners. When did they win? 06?
06. I believe you're right. In 04 they were not, but Boston swept them. And I'm trying to remember which one of the 2 years I believe Boston was one, either in 2004 or 2007. One and 2 to Ryan Ludwig. Ludwig an RBI single back in the 5th. Troy Gloss 0 for 4 today. He's on deck. Runners lead from first and second. Pujols at second, and Holiday big lead at first, not being held on. Can't even see Garrett Jones in the picture, playing deep. There he is. 1-2 up in the air to right. And Brandon Moss will make the catch. Pirates now down by a run, and they'll face the National League saves leader in Ryan Franklin. Paramillo, LaRoche, and McCutchen. Last call. The Toronto Blue Jays, an 8 spot in the 5th, leading the Yankees 14-8. The Brewers got a triple play against San Francisco. 5th triple play in franchise history. Wade Davis, great prospect for Tampa Bay. An outstanding major league debut. Gets taken out of the game. Brandon Inch for the Tigers hits a grand slam, so Davis, no decision. And Hanley Ramirez, 21st home run. Marlins ahead of the Nationals 2-0. Changes for
a bunch of changes. Ankiel hit the home run, stays in the ball game to play left field. Lugo moves from second to short. Mr. Schumacher stays in the ball game, and we will move over and let you know that he is the new second baseman. And of course, Mr. Franklin, as advertised, coming on to work here in the bottom of the 9th with the Cardinals up 5-4.
9 hits apiece. First pitch to Jaramillo was a strike. Jason today 2 for 3 with an RBI. Trying to make the most of his opportunities, and he's done so with the bat. Batting average at .257. He is behind 0-2. Franklin closed up the game last night, earning his league-leading 37th save.
And that's what it's all about right there. 37 out of 39. He's converted his last 13. He, like most of the Cardinals, on that good September run.
1-2. Oh, Jaramillo, former Philly, last year was left off the roster when they expanded. And wasn't happy with that. Was traded straight up for Ronnie Paulino. Paulino was then sent from Philadelphia down to Florida. And Jaramillo ended up with a wire-to-wire season in the big leagues for the first time. Count even. Franklin ready. And this one, the 3rd hit of the afternoon for Jaramillo, and the tying runs aboard.
And like the last one, nothing cheap about it. Hit it right on the button, right past Ryan Franklin's ear. Boy, good looking form. Watch out, Ryan. This one's got your name on it. Action in the bottom of the 9th. The Pirates looking for a point or two.
So the tying run, Jaramillo on base. Andy LaRoche, his first at bat this afternoon.
Gloss in at third base. Gonna bunt. Has all the indications as he squares around early. This is interesting. You bunt Jaramillo over to second base. He doesn't have great speed. You need a base hit that could get exciting if Tony Beasley decides to run him around, but that's way down the road.
And the bunt to first. Pujols will go to second base, and he's out.
There is the lack of speed.
So Pujols erases what would have been the tying run in scoring position.
And a good pickup by Lugo.
Wow. It's automatic with him.
Another dimension of Albert Pujols.
McCutchen swings, fouls this one up in the air behind home plate. Molina giving it a run, but that's going to just climb over the backstop into the second row.
You know, that's an awareness too by Albert and the Cardinals, knowing that you've got a catcher running. So that's a consideration. You know, any other position player probably going to have that sacrifice work.
Ryan Franklin 0-1 on Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen had a walk-off home run on the 25th of August, his first career. And he swings and drives it into left field, a base hit. Tying run now in scoring position. LaRoche down there. And the winning run is on base with McCutchen.
Well, and consider this. Andy LaRoche runs okay, but he's not a burner. Pirate bench looking at this base hit.
Jaramillo, who got a base hit to start the inning, was erased, and Duncan comes out after Franklin has given up 2 base hits.
Well, very few times in the history of the game do closers run the table. What Brad Lidge did last year, 48 out of 48 saves. But that is highly unusual. Maybe this is one of those times. Franklin has only blown 2 saves. He's been terrific.
Left-hander Trevor Miller starting to get loose. Miller appeared as a setup man last night. Came in the 8th inning, and Ryan Domet has been called upon to pinch hit in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, let's see if John Russell can have as much success with his bench as Tony La Russa has had.
Two on, 1 out.
And because he's hitting left-handed, that gives Lugo the chance to kind of monitor LaRoche at second base, keep him honest. Good block. And that almost kept going far enough. But boy, do you have to be sure if you're at second base. Here's the pitch. Gets back, and the umpire kicks it around a little bit, and Angel Hernandez trying to get himself out of the way.
See where Albert Pujols is playing. His heel's almost on the outfield grass. No doubles. Down the line. 1-0 pitch. That one's in there for a strike. 1-1.
No surprise to see Ryan get the soft stuff, and he's not happy with that call. Decent work, and just a handful of at-bats against Ryan Franklin.
Again, the soft stuff. This time it's outside. The Pirates threatening here in the bottom of the 9th inning, trailing by a run.
Boy, and this is interesting too, because McCutchen can get all the room he wants. You get a double here, you can win this thing. A decent lead now. It's going to increase.
Here comes the 2-1. And a swing and a miss. I think he's a little bit out of sorts after that first strike call.
Out in front, as Franklin took a little bit off.
Three and 2.
Yeah, finally goes to a fastball.
Well, the count is full. One is out. One man is out. LaRoche at second base. McCutchen, who represents the winning run, is at first. Here comes the payoff. And Domet lines it into center field. Coming around third is LaRoche. Rasmus, the throw to the plate, offline. Tie ball game. Ryan Domet, an RBI single on a 3-2 pitch. Scoring LaRoche. And it's a brand new game at 5-5. The winning run at second base.
And I'm glad he didn't hit it any harder, because you mentioned that Andy LaRoche runs okay, but he doesn't run exceptionally well. If this ball is getting to Rasmus any quicker, there is going to be a lot of excitement at home plate. But the throw is off, so we don't have to worry about that. But he was going to take his shot knowing that they might have a chance against Andy. But he gets by, and here we go. And now Tony La Russa wants his left-hander to face Garrett Jones.
The last blown save for Ryan Franklin was the 22nd of July against the Houston Astros. So you don't see him blow a save much. Our Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen has been made. We'll be back. Home run on the bottom of the 14th. Take me to the river, drop me in the water. He's done it before. The question is, can he do it again?
Doesn't need to hit it that far. Base hit gets you the ball game. You got a lot of speed at second base. No issue now scoring from second on a base hit. McCutchen is there and he can fly.
One out. And Trevor Miller, left-hander who has faced Jones twice. Jones is 0 for 2 against the sidewinding curveballer.
Yep. Saw Miller pitch a scoreless inning last night. Doesn't have to be pretty. Outfield for the Cardinals, very much straight away. They have seen Garrett Jones go the opposite way a good bit this series.
Miller's first pitch to Jones. Curveball outside. Jones' hit came in the 6th inning. He would come around and score one of the 3 Pirate runs in the 6th. Here comes the 1-0. Inside, 2-0. Is he looking at this one right here? 2-0?
No, absolutely not.
No, I mean looking for this one to be the one right down the middle.
Oh, I don't think he's going to give in. I would not be surprised to see the curveball again, but maybe not quite as far outside because he needs a strike.
And he swings and drives it deep to left center field. This ball is down. The Pirates are going to win.
Yeah.
A walk-off base hit for Garrett Jones. McCutchen scores. 6-5 Bucks. Thanks for coming, Cardinals.
Well, in a very difficult season, every once in a while you have these kind of moments against a very good ball club, one of the best closers in the business, and the Pirates don't fold the tent in the bottom of the 9th inning. They come all the way back and pick up a hard-fought blue-collar win against a very good ball club. The Pittsburgh Pirates winners on this Sunday afternoon.
There'll be no record today as Garrett Jones walks off the Cardinals. His second career walk-off hit. And the fastest man of the ballpark, McCutchen, scores easily to win it. What a Sunday afternoon at PNC Park. Great crowd, and they saw the Bucks walk off the division-leading Cardinals to win the ball game.
That's a feel-good win, boy. They worked very, very hard for this W, and the fans that came out today, some 19,000 plus,